On the hour, you're now with me, Douglas Elliott. Tonight's top stories. 9 crew went missing after their cargo ship capsized off SEBUYAU waters. MASWINGS take over by Sarawak to spur the state's economy, plus 2 killed in New Zealand shooting. All these and more only on TVS Nightline. We begin Nightline tonight with this. 9 crew members of a cargo vessel are feared drowned after the ship capsized in the waters of Pulau Purong and SEBUYAU. The 9 crew members comprised of 4 locals, 4 Myanmarese and 1 Indonesian. All men are between the ages of 20 and 52. Malaysia Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA Sarawak State Director First Admiral Zin Azman Muhammad Yunus said the ship called the MV Tung Sung lost contact at around 9:40 a.m. and afterwards a search and rescue operation was immediately launched by their vessels the KM Kinabalu and Kilat 35 together with the Royal Malaysia Police Air Operations Force. Due to unfavorable weather condition, the operation was called off at around 7 p.m. today and it will resume tomorrow morning. Sarawak's recent acquisition of MASWINGS is aimed at further developing and propelling the state's economy. State's Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said air connectivity is crucial not only to connect the rural communities but also to attract more foreign investments in the state.
Jadi dalam hal ini pengambilan alih syarikat penerbangan mungkin rugi, mungkin untung. But you can also get benefit somewhere else. Jadi ini akan merangsangkan pembangunan ekonomi kita. I must emphasize here that business community need this. Pelabur-pelabur perkendakan ini.
He said this in his speech at the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding MOU for the takeover of Rural Air Services RAS on Thursday. Abang Johari pointed out the difficulties faced by foreign investors in entering the state and is confident that with the facilities in place, investors will be more motivated to come to Sarawak.
We have people from Korea investing in Sarawak, saying that they have to go through Singapore and sometimes they have to stay overnight in Singapore. That the same applies with our people yang datang daripada Jepun. Dan maknanya pelabur akan datang dengan kemudahan yang dapat kita sediakan.
Now, in related development, Federal Ministry of Transport Anthony Loke assures that Putrajaya will continue to subsidize the Rural Air Services RAS despite the takeover by the Sarawak government. He said the subsidy, which is due at the end of next year, is a testament of the federal government to the essential rural air services in Sarawak and Sabah.
The subsidy is about 210 million a year for both Sabah and Sarawak. That will be continued. That is our commitment. So we will sign a fresh agreement once they take over. Once Sarawak takes over the airline, then the fresh agreement will be negotiated, and we will proceed with the new agreement for 2025 and beyond. Because the current agreement is until 2024, end of 2024. That will be continued. Even if they take over right now, that will continue.
The takeover of MASWINGS by the Sarawak government will establish a new framework of a symbiotic business model. According to senior lecturer at the Faculty of Economic and Business, University Malaysia Sarawak Unimas, Associate Professor Dr. Ayla Abdul Latif, the framework fulfills the needs and wants of the stakeholders, business communities, as well as the public.
Kita haruslah menggunakan avenue yang ada ini sebagai satu generation value generation, money generation, profit generation yang akan membantu kita memakmurkan secara berpanjangan. So Kerangka pengurusan yang kita hendak lihat haruslah menganalisa dari segi jangka panjang dan jangka pendek, dan dalam masa yang sama ianya haruslah memenuhi simbiosis perniagaan itu sendiri.
She said this in an interview with TVS during the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding for the Takeover of Rural Air Services RAS between the Sarawak government and the federal government on Thursday. At least 2 people and an armed attacker were killed and 5 others were wounded in a shooting in New Zealand's city of Auckland on Thursday, hours ahead of the opening match of the Women's Football World Cup in the city. New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins said the football tournament would proceed as planned, adding that the shooting appeared to be the actions of an individual and that the police were not seeking anyone else in relation to the incident.
The assessment from officials is that there is no national security risk. There is no change to New Zealand's national security threat level. This is the information that we're able to share so far. The offender was armed with a pump-action shotgun. He moved through the building site, discharging the firearm as he went. Upon reaching the upper levels of the building, the man contained himself in an elevator. Shots were fired and he was located a short time later.
Police Commissioner Andrew Costa said at a news conference that an officer had been injured in the shooting, as well as 4 members of the public. The gunman has not been formally identified, but is believed to be a 24-year-old male who was employed at the construction site where the shooting occurred. The gunman was the subject of a sentence of home detention but had an exemption to work at the site. Football teams from New Zealand, Norway, Italy, the US, Vietnam, and Portugal were known to be in the city when the shooting occurred. The shooting took place near the Norwegian team hotel in downtown Auckland, and several players took to social media to report they were safe. Several streets in Auckland were cordoned off, all ferry services into the city were cancelled, and buses were asked to detour some areas of the city. Gun violence is rare in New Zealand, which tightened its guns laws after a gunman killed 51 Muslim worshippers in Christchurch in 2019, in the country's worst peacetime mass shooting. The government has banned all military-style semi-automatics and other deadly guns.
The General Post Office building in Kuching is touted to be the next iconic heritage site in the state, as it is one of the buildings listed in the 52 plot of land the federal government has agreed to return to Sarawak. Thus, the State Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Entrepreneur Development, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said with negotiations underway, he hopes that the building will be the next attraction for visitors to Kuching.
Dan kalau tak silap saya, satu daripada hartanah yang telah disebut itu ataupun akan dikembalikan adalah pejabat pos kita, pejabat pos yang mana terletaknya bangunan heritage. Dan saya pun kurang pasti apa yang spesifik satu-satu yang dari 50 tu, karena adanya di Baram, adanya di Miri, saya kurang pasti. Tapi kalau tak silap saya, satu daripadanya adalah bangunan pejabat pos. Saya cukup gembira sekali lah, kerana bangunan itu adalah bangunan heritage dan sekiranya sudah dikembalikan nanti, kita akan melihat apa yang akan kita lakukan supaya bangunan itu sentiasa akan terjaga dan selain daripada itu dapat digunakan untuk kunjungan oleh rakyat.
He said this to reporters after witnessing the full dress rehearsal of the 60th Sarawak Anniversary Parade on Thursday. Meanwhile, he advised the public who wish to come to the concert this upcoming Saturday to be prudent and encourage carpooling to avoid traffic congestion.
Saya menyangka untuk pentas rakyat ni memandangkan artis-artis yang dijemput, penyanyi-penyanyi yang dijemput adalah mereka yang boleh dikira agak hebat dan mempunyai fans yang besar. Jadi kepada mereka yang ingin nak datang, harapan saya Kalau yang naik kereta tu kalau dapat carpooling, gunakan carpooling dan datang awal sedikit. Parking jangan semua nak datang parking betul-betul dekat dengan Padang Sentral. Jauhlah sedikit.
Artistic gymnastics is a unique sport that seamlessly blends athleticism with artistic expression. Often overshadowed by mainstream team sports such as football or basketball, artistic gymnastics remain an underappreciated and underrated discipline. Artistic gymnastic coach for over 20 years, Maya Glamares, said that gymnastics offers athletes a strong physical foundation, mental strength, and transferable skills that are valuable in other sports. Gymnastics training develops physical fitness, body awareness, concentration, athleticism, work ethics, and aesthetic appreciation, making it beneficial for individuals seeking success and adaptability in different athletic pursuits.
Not everybody knows what means artistic gymnastics. So artistic gymnastics, it's really good for kids. This is almost in the world first #1 sport. Because when kids start practice from gymnastics, maybe 1, 2, 3 years, then coach always says, oh, if they are good for gymnastics, we keep them. If not, we can send another sport, and they will be very good for another sport. So gymnastics helps for make more good flexible kids, make good coordination, make good, strong character also, good discipline. And I think it helps also in school because their brain works really good after good training. And I think gymnastics works for good life.
Ali Hamuda Abdullah, the only male representative from Sarawak, made a significant achievement by winning the gold medal in the men's rings event at the SUKMA 2022 Games. This success highlights the potential of artistic gymnastics in Sarawak, and there is a desire to encourage more children to join the sport for its growth and development. Martiza Sheila, the newly elected EXCO team manager, aims to secure gold in the upcoming SUKMA Games and is responsible for managing the gymnastics team in Sarawak.
Target so far the biggest event lah, SUKMA tahun depan. Of course, semua nak yang terbaik lah, menang gol. Sebelum tu pun ada jog gol. So, kali tahun tu mesti ada gol juga.
Meanwhile, Alia Kauta Openg, the younger sister of Ali Hamuda, holds aspirations to achieve the same level of success as her brother in artistic gymnastics. She expressed her dedication and enthusiasm for the sport, acknowledging that the training sessions are intense but also enjoyable.
Abang kami start lebih awal daripada kami. Kayak kini baru-baru toknya main championship dekat Singapore. And then that day nya Sukansi and dapat nombor 3 for rings. I started gymnastics sebab nangganya macam happy-happy je nak. So mek ikut kata macam kadang-kadang pun pada pola conditioning betul-betul sak muscle semua bagus pakai pola skill apa semua. Kami orang start training at 2:30 until 6:30, but dari start orang akan start conditioning dulu from stomach workout and then mostly panaskan badan lah. Kayak lepasnya orang akan pola event nya antara floor, beam, floor, beam, bars atau vault. Tapi selalunya orang akan buat bar and beam.
Eleanor Von Macbeth, a mother of 2 children, was initially unaware of the dedicated Gymnastics Association in Sarawak when she enrolled her kids in artistic gymnastics training. At first, she had concerns about her young children undergoing intense training in gymnastics. However, as time went on, Eleanor started to witness the positive effects of gymnastics on her children.
At first memang takutlah Nangga sidaknya main bahagian tangan, kaki, tapi lama-lama terbiasalah. Cuma bilanya berada dalam stadium ada rasa okey sikit, tapi bila di rumahnya mula macamnya memang kita rasa takutlah sebab takutnya terselio, patah tangan, patah kaki. Tapi I know they know what the best for them. Kami letakkan kepercayaan lah dengan sidaknya. Nya bagus sebabnya membantu sidak tu dalam jaga berat badan. Kesihatan sidaknya terjagalah, dan bagi minda sidaknya cerdas. Bagus juga dengan sidaknya pun disiplin.
By shedding light on this underrated discipline, Eleanor said that this sport can inspire future generations to pursue and celebrate the beauty and skill of artistic gymnastics.
Welcome back. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Dato Sri Muhammad Sabu, has assured that the supply of eggs and chicken is recovering after going above the critical supply level. According to him, the positive progress was driven by the ministry's efforts to ensure sufficient supplies in the market for consumers.
Sebab kita tahu grain corn kita ni baru peringkat permulaan ditanam di sini, dia Mardi memainkan peranan, tapi ia agak lambat lagi untuk mencukupi jagung makanan ayam itu. Tapi buat masa sekarang ni, alhamdulillah, dan hari ini pun dolar ringgit kita naik sedikit, kita harap harga import tu akan turun mengikut nilai ringgit kita yang meningkat minggu ini.
He was met by reporters after opening the office building of the Klang Area Farmers Association on Thursday. Commenting on the supply of rice in the market, Sabu said the country's rice supply is sufficient, even if the amount is slightly reduced. Just days after Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim held an online meeting with Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk on Friday, Minister of Communications and Digital Fahmi Fadzil announced that the internet service provided by SpaceX, called the Starlink, has now received a network facility and service provider license. In a social media posting, Fahmi said that the service will be first made available at schools and higher education institutions, or IPTs, across Malaysia. With the green light, Starlink is now allowed to provide satellite internet services in Malaysia, particularly in rural areas. He stated that currently 97% of the populated areas in Malaysia have internet access, while the remaining 3% face challenges due to geographical issues, such as rural and isolated areas, which pose difficulties in network infrastructure development. Fahmi also said that the government is also ready to cooperate with satellite internet service providers, including Starlink, to achieve 100% internet coverage in populated areas. On July 15, Prime Minister said the government plans to install 40 satellite internet devices from Starlink at higher education institutions nationwide to help students who were unable to study due to the unreliable internet connectivity. Tesla has officially launched its popular all-electric SUV called the Model Y in Malaysia, with prices starting from 199,000 ringgit to 288,000 ringgit, with the first car deliveries expected to be in the first quarter of next year. At the same time, the company plans to open its first indoor supercharger station with 8 superchargers at Pavilion KL and is working on charging infrastructure in Johor and Penang soon. Tesla's commitment to Malaysia includes a comprehensive development plan for experience centers, service and support, and charging infrastructure to provide a seamless ownership experience. Tesla owners in Malaysia can claim individual income tax relief of up to 2,500 ringgit for EV charging facilities expenses for the 2023's assessment. They can also benefit from full import and excise duty exemption for newly registered Tesla EVs with 100% road tax exemption. The company will also install supercharging stations strategically across Malaysia in collaboration with the government. The Model Y is available in 3 trims and offers a combination of range, performance, safety and technology with ample cargo space and seating for up to 5 passengers. The SUV can accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 3.7 seconds with a range of up to 533 km per charge. Right, and similar development, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry Dato Sri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz said that the installation of more charging stations is an aspect that needs to be looked into in the effort to expand the country's electric vehicle or EV ecosystem. He added the government is targeting to have at least 10,000 EV charging stations by 2025. Appearing in a video uploaded on Twitter, Zafrul said Tesla's superchargers will contribute to the achievement, as the EV company is required to install at least 50 superchargers by 2026.
Tesla juga telah memberi komitmen untuk menambah bilangan supercharger di seluruh Malaysia melebihi sasaran yang ditetapkan kerajaan,
of which 30% must be open to other EV brands. He said that 8 of Tesla's fast and efficient superchargers have been installed in Pavilion, Kuala Lumpur, with the installation of EV charging stations in 9 other locations nationwide are in the works. Protesters, angered by the burning of copies of the Quran in Sweden, stormed the Swedish embassy in central Baghdad, scaling the walls of the compound and setting it on fire. The Swedish Foreign Ministry press office said all embassy staff were safe, condemning the attack and highlighting the need for Iraqi authorities to protect diplomatic missions.
Online videos showed demonstrators at the embassy early on Thursday morning waving flags and signs showing the influential Iraqi Shia religious and political leader Muqtada al-Sadr. According to posts in a popular Telegram group linked to the influential leader and other pro-Sadr media, Thursday's demonstration was called by supporters of Sadr to protest the second planned burning of a Quran in Sweden. Witnesses said by dawn on Thursday, security forces had deployed inside the embassy and smoke rose from the building as firefighters extinguished stubborn embers. Most protesters had withdrawn, with a few dozen milling around outside the embassy. Iraq's foreign ministry strongly condemned the attack on the embassy. Swedish news agencies reported on Wednesday that Swedish police had granted an application for a public meeting outside the Iraqi embassy in Stockholm on Thursday. The application said the applicant was seeking to burn a copy of the Quran and the Iraqi flag. Swedish media reported that Salwan Momika, an Iraqi refugee in Sweden, had organized the planned burning on Thursday. The government of several Muslim countries, including Iraq, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Morocco, issued protests about the incident, with Iraq seeking the man's extradition to face trial in the country.
In conjunction with Sarawak's 60th year of independence, don't forget to catch the live telecast of the Sarawak Day 2023 celebration this Saturday, July 22nd, beginning with a grand parade at 7:30 a.m. and ending with a star-studded concert in the evening at 8:30 p.m. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline tonight. I'm Douglas Ellis. Thank you for watching.